fair old while on YouTube, but I thought I'd come back and show you a time-lapse video of an art journal I want to make, and using one of my drop sheets. Now this has all been trimmed up, and here's all the trimmings and all the coloured areas I shall keep for using as tags or something like that. So I'd never throw those away until I've exhausted their use. You know, just look at the lovely colours on that piece, for instance. So, with those aside, for later on maybe, this is what's been cut from my drop sheet. And you can see it's a glorious mess, but with having trimmed it up, folded it in half, I've now got ready a back and front. So I should do the video as a time lapse only because it'll save on time, and anyway it can start getting boring if you have to watch a video that's too long. So enjoy the process with me. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, please leave a comment and a thumbs up, and subscribe even, that would be lovely. So see you in a bit, bye. Front and back cover for my journal book, and I've cut an outside spine and an inside spine. So one will be the front, which will be out there like that, like so, and then this one will be on the inside, that will have all the binding string, and then the, you know, this will be like that. So yes, right, next thing is to get these painted, and I shall be using black gesso inside and out. See, on each side I've painted it all black, and on the B side, which will actually be the front, I've just painted a border. I didn't need to waste my gesso by sticking it all there as well, painting it rather. So I shall let them dry, and I shall be back. I'm I'm at the point now where I'm getting ready to put this together. You'll see that I cut 2 spines, as I mentioned before, and one of which I've painted only on one side with the gesso. I don't need to paint the other side. This other one that's going to be on the outside doesn't need anything on it at all because it will get covered with black duct tape and on one side, and on the inside it will be stuck together with that, like that. So I shall put this one aside for now, and I shall now make the markings for my pages in readiness to take my signatures, and move these aside for now. As you can see, it will be a nice big book, which is what I want. Okay, so I shall just fudge it for now where I want my... I'm not going to worry about being too exact, because it is the journal after all. So I'm making a mark there, make a mark at the end there. As you can see, I've centred it this way, and I've also roughly centred it that way. I'm just thinking now, shall I? Yeah, I'll do a centre one at 6. So at the first point of 1 inch, and at the end point of 12 inch, and then at 6 inch. And now I shall add, I think maybe another 2 signatures either side, and that should give me plenty of pages. So 1, 2, 3, and then again 1, 2, 3. Turn it round and do the same on the other side. Getting a rough line up of your dots. Don't have to be exact, so don't burst a gut trying to be too accurate. It is after all only a playbook. So 1, 2, 3. So I shall have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures. So the next thing is to make my holes. I'm choosing the smallest hole on my crocodile, which is, what is that, 1/8, or the 1/8 thing. And I'm going to start punching my holes. So there we are, that's ready. Glad that's done. So the next thing is I want to start sticking my front pieces of my, oops, move my water out of the way. Start gluing this in place. Now it's all ripped to pieces, but I'm not going to worry about that. And where there's any holes, like here for instance, there's a slight hole, as there is here, I shall just infill them with pieces of this. Doesn't matter, see? It's an art journal. So the next thing is just to place it on there. So I've got a nice big border. Then I'm going to mark out approximately where I want my page to lay. So with my pen, I'm going to mark out just the corners. Now going to squirt on with some really cheap. It's that cheap. It's crap. But if you use enough of it, I suppose it's okay. But for just this, that's all I'm going to use. I think it was only about £1.99 or something stupid. So I'm just going to squirt this all on. This is all going to get a layer of a decent PVA. So any that sort of comes out or spills over, I ain't going to worry about it. Oh, it's gross. Now lining up with my marks. Let's see. And I don't mind there being 1 or 2 wrinkles, but I'm going to go over it with my brayer anyway. I don't mind excess glue and all, but I don't want it where it's bumpy like the French Alps. So I'll leave that to dry, and then when that's all dry, I shall infill with the little patches, or I might even just touch it up with a bit of black gesso. That's the start. Now on to the next one. Waiting for my front and back pages covers to dry, I'm going to make this into a kind of a button, and it's a little fairy charm. Can you see it? It's really cute. So, and as you can see, it's got all holes in the wings, so I'm going to go, no I'm not, I'm going to go in one hole if I can. That's it. I'm going to see if I can. I'll go in the bottom hole, that's what I'll do. Like that. And fold it. And then on the back, bend it and put it up through the next hole on the other side. You've got to be quite brutal with it. So you've got it like that. Alright. Then fold them round to the back, your ends, and then twist as tight as you can. Now I'm going to use Sandy fell out to meet me. I'm going to get hold of my ends. Right, I'm going to twist. Get a nice tight twist. And keep pulling it up. Release and pulling it up. So you get a nice tail. Nice depth like that. And then these ends here will go through the hole, and you'll want to, when these ends have gone through the hole, you want to bend these ends round to form like a circle or something. I'll cut this one off because it is a bit long. And then that will keep it secure. But that'll make a lovely little button. So there we are, a little guardian angel button to protect all my dreams that will be inside my journal. Wonderful. And for stringing the my signatures into my journal, I'm going to use baker's twine. Now this one is a thick one, so I shall only need to use one string, because I normally like to double it like that and use that as one, but in this case I'm not going to, because as I say, it's quite thick. And this particular one is from the Gorgeous range. So you get like a blue, a purple and the black, and I'm going to use the black. I had a length of wire over it from that length I used for the button, and I've got some stretchy black elastic that I've got on eBay. It's very stiff, even though it looks quite thin. But I'm going to use this, and I'm going to knot it, and I may actually do a double knot. Let's see. Now I haven't said the measurements of this because it depends on you how much you want as a loop, really. But I would say this was roughly, let's do it in inches. I would say roughly 10 inches long, folded in half, about 5 inches, and then after it's knotted, it's more like 4.5 inches. Right, that seems to be nice and firm now. Just double check. Yep. And then when I make a hole in the back cover, I shall push this loop through so this knot is on the inside, and then I shall place this through, or you can use a paper clip and bend that round and knot it. twist it. And there we have that ready for going in the journal. So I should cut that length down. Where are we? So all you'll see is that on the outside, and this will be covered on the inside. And I shall trim those down now. I won't trim them right up to the knot, just in case. I like to leave a little bit of a tail. And that's all I've done. But as I say, you can use a paper clip, which I've done on other journals actually. This is just sort of another way of showing you. In fact, while the video's running, I'll make the hole now. So this will be the back cover. And I shall make my hole. I shall put it on the bigger hole, which is 3/16. Mark roughly where I want it, which will be about there. That should be just big enough now for my two thicknesses of elastic to poke through. That will be my top. And then when this is finished drying, I shall glue that down. I shall twist these around as well and glue that down. I will have a bit of a knobble, but I'm not going to worry about that because I shall have something over that to cover it, and I shall possibly also make a pocket as well to put my favourite scraps of drop sheet in and things like that. But you can see it's sort of on the mend there. In fact, I might even make that a little bit longer because I've come in further than I planned to. So there we go, that's a nice little start. Maybe while this one's drying, I shall make the hole now for this and decide which way round I want this. I think this way she'll show up then on the So my angel will get poked in now. And you remember that I made a little bit of a neck. I'm going to poke it in as far as there. Sorry, can you see? So it's roughly just under ½ an inch, I would say. Still a bit tacky really to be doing this. Then I'll bend my tails. Make a kind of butterfly. And there we are. It's my little angel on my book cover. And you can barely see the white paper coated wire either, which is nice. Just knowing that she's there is nice. So, I'll be back with the next step, which will be putting my signatures together in here. And during that time, that's when I shall remind you of the page measurements. And past there, nice big pocket with a flap. So none of this will be shown, which I'm really glad about. Wonderful. The other thing I decided, so that's better. So once I get my pages in, see, get a nice depth now of pages in there without crushing and bending the book too much. So the next thing is stringing. Now I was going to use my baker's twine, but I decided, since I stopped the video and had, was waiting for the paint to dry and the glue and everything else, I decided that maybe using elasticated loops instead. So I shall forget about these loops here, and I might add more loops, more holes there, and disregard these. I shall bind them. In fact, I'll do that now. I'll put tape over them. I can find the end. Right, so that's my holes covered. And as I said, that this is like the length of there, so it would cover there. What I'm going to do instead is use elasticated loops. And now this is where I'm going to sort of now work at it and go with it as I make it, because I'm not sure myself. So I'm thinking maybe weaving in and out of holes, going up and down like that, so I get these big elasticated loops. Then I can slip my pages in as I cut them and make up my signatures that way. So that's what I think I'll do. And I think right, 1, 2, 3 holes. Where's my pen? So I shall do 3 holes. So 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. And then 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Thank you, Barclaycard. On your crocodile, set it at the 1/8 mark and get punching away. this is how my holes are either end. So what I'm going to now do is take this elastic band off. I'm going to, I've got to think about this. Come up there, go down there. Here to the next one. I'll sort the tension out in a minute. So that is coming up from behind, down there, go through, back up again, down to this one, back up through this hole, down to that one. This is how I'm doing it. I don't know if it's correct or not. So now you've got to make sure that there's enough tension in there where it's bowed a little bit like that. Make sure you get the tension right in both. So you see it's pretty bowed now. And I'm going to make sure that these are stuck down like that. And I'm going to use a double-sided carpet tape. It's super strong, so you know it's going to hold things in place. Just going to put a bit like that there for now. And you see that you saw that I left long tails as well, didn't you? So just in case you ever have to undo them and, you know, do it back up. So my next thing is to put a strip down the centre of there. So back in, that's ready. Put that to one side. I'm going to stick a bit more on here as I'm taking this back in off. it is a bit awkward, as you could see, but it is possible. If I can do it, I know you can. Honest. And peel that back in off if you can. Now line it up. As best you can. And I think stinker, isn't it, this stuff? Once it sticks, it's you sure know it. It's a bit thrown together, but it does the job. Turn it round. I will also, just to make sure, put some tape here again. I'll do it from the front. Yeah. Really hold that end I'm tucking the duct tape in behind the bands because its tape is a bit too long, but just make sure when you snip it upwards you don't snip your bangs, because you really don't want to. See, you want to get that kind of noise. Right, so these are all ready now to go over with and put my pockets, and these are ready to put my signatures in. Now, I haven't cut my signatures yet, but I'm going to use some A4 paper to demonstrate for you. Pretend that this is my wallpaper lining, and I'm gathering together 3, 4, 5 sheets of what would be that paper. Fold it in half. And slide it in your signature. Do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And slide those in. And then another 5. Doesn't have to be 5, but I just choose 5. 3, 4, 5. Then you put that in there. Then you can add another 2 signatures, so you get the 5 that I would have originally had in the first place. Because then what you can do is put another band, say, hang on. You put another band in round there. Lift up this, find the middle of the second signature, and you can tie that off. So you get that signature, and that signature, and then tie that off. Then you do another loop with the other one, so you get the same loop but the other side. Then with these extra bands, you can slip in more signatures. So I'd get at least 5 or 6, maybe even, maybe another 3 signatures in there, maybe, possibly more, depending on how you build up your elastics. But this is how the basics of what I've done. This is how it would work if I had full-size sheets. And because this is only paper and not the heavyweight lining paper that I'm going to use, it's not showing itself really to its best. But that's what you get. And all this, as I say, will be covered when I get to do my pockets. I'm going to make those tonight, and in another video I shall show you it with the pockets and the right size pages. But for now, this is my journal with nothing in it. I'm going to stick a little bit of this in there because I've still a bit wet actually. I'll shut that in now. Maybe that way. And there we are, fixed and not looking too bad for something that didn't cost me a penny, and I'm really happy with it. I'm going to funk it up on the front cover with me you know, my chipboard letters. I might not bother, I might save them for inside on the pocket or something. But I'm really liking it. And it's a shame you can't see the colours too well because it's really vivid. But I'm really loving it. And I hope you enjoyed the process as much as I enjoyed doing it for you. Yeah, it's not the best tutorial in the world, but hey, it's a free tutorial, so, you know, yeah, and there will be more. So thanks for joining me, and do please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, thank you very much for being here with me. Bye.